welcome to Bentley's Backwards Bushcraft. This is Richard. So I am getting ready to make a hand fasting cord because I am going to be officiating a wedding soon. So let's reach down here real quick. I like to use four pieces of ribbon, and I like using the green, yellow, red, and blue to represent the elements earth, air, fire, and water. So all I'm going to do is I put them together, and I have earth and air together and fire and water together, and I just knot all four of them together with a single knot, and I am going to braid this. Oh, now this is not something that I do a lot. I've only officiated 2 weddings, and so what we're going to do is I'm going to take the green and yellow, which are going to start in my left, and the red and blue, which is going to start in my right. What I'm going to do is make a loop with the green and yellow and a loop with the red and blue. So now I have 2 loops, right? I'm going to take the red and blue loop and place it inside the green and yellow loop, and I'm just going to hold it slightly, just enough to pinch that there, just so I can hold it for a brief moment. Make another loop with the green and yellow, stick it inside the blue and red, and then I'm just going to tug on the blue and red until it secures. There we go. Now the key is to try to keep these colors all arranged together and keep them that way. There we are. Now we have a loop yellow and green, so we make a loop that is red and blue, and I stick the red and blue inside the yellow green, and I just slightly tug on the yellow green until it secures. Again, let's try to keep all of that. There we go. There we go. So now we have the red and blue loop. We make a yellow and green loop. It goes inside the red and blue. As you can see, this gets really repetitive, and just pull on the yellow blue, there we go, just like so, and it just continues and continues and continues until your cord gets as long as you want. I will be at this all night because I am very not proficient. There we go, a little bit of a tug here, and we'll just continue this, and once I get a little further down the road, I'll bring you guys back and I'll show you where I'm at and what I've got. But that's basically going to be it. It's just a repetitive knot. So you guys enjoy, and I'll get back with you when I get a little bit more done and it looks more like a cord. So I'm getting there. It's taking a little bit of time, of course. It's going to be a while, but here we go. There it is. So, and I'm using really thin cordage ribbon to do this with. So just a repetition that I'm gonna have to sit here and do. I am actually getting a little bit better with it from here and there. Takes a little bit of time, but once you just kind of start getting in the flow of it, it kind of goes by like everything else. So we're getting there. I just measured it and I'm at just about 4 feet. So another couple feet and I'll be alright. I think I'm going to stop at 6 feet. So we got about another 2 feet, and then after we get that done, I'll put tassels at each end, and I plan on putting a few little baubles on it as well. So I'll get back with you when that gets done. We're almost done. We're getting there. There's a little bit more yellow and green than there was blue, but I'm okay with that. So when we get done with the cord, I will be putting tassels on, and I'll go through that and I'll show you what colors I'm using for the tassels and why, and we will make a tassel for each end. So this was really a fun project. Now I would prefer to have thicker ribbon. I think the next time I'll probably make the ribbon a little bit, I'll purchase a little thicker ribbon. This works absolutely. There's absolutely no problems with it working. But I think working with this thin ribbon sometimes gave me issues that I didn't necessarily would have had with thicker ribbon. So, but as soon as I'm done with, as soon as we get towards the end of this, I will get back with you. And show you the finished cord. Here we go. This is the end of it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I've got this loop still here. I'm just going to take this end, the green and yellow end, stick it through the loop from left to right, and I'm going to take the red and blue from right to left through the loop there. And then just tighten that up. There we go. And then just make a simple little knot. One more time. There we go. Trim that off just a tad bit. Now, it doesn't really matter what this knot looks like right now because it's going to be completely covered up. And here's the knot on the other end. I'm going to trim that off just a tad bit, but again, there we go. It's not going to really matter. So here we go. I have not measured this, but there's the cord. So here's the Handfasting cord that I've made, and let me measure this real quick and then I'll tell you how long it is. This particular cord is 6 feet 3.5 inches long, and the only real reason that that's the size is that I ran out of red and blue cord ribbon. That's where it ran out. And the green and yellow, I still have a very smidgen amount left. But here's the Handfasting cord. Now we are going to put a tassel on either end. Now we are ready to work on the tassels. Now, for the woman, I do not know what her family crest colors are, but I do know that her two favorite colors are orange and maroon. So the tassel for her is going to be orange and maroon. Now, as far as the man goes, I do know what his family crest looks like, and the two colors on his family crest are black and gold. So I'm going to use black and gold for his tassel. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a tassel for each end of the cord, and we'll attach that, and let's get going with that right now. For the tassel, we are just going to take this embroidery yarn thread, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, and all I'm going to do is just wrap it around Alright, so once I get it wrapped, all I'm going to do is just go open it up so I can go underneath the whole thing, and I'm just going to cut it all off like so. And now I'm going to remove this one that has a little knot in it, and now I have a nice bit of string like so. So let's do that with the rest of them. Again, we pull it all away from the board, stick our scissors in between the board and the cordage, and we just cut it off. And there we go. Alright, we'll do that with the black and the gold, and then I'll get right back with you. Alright, so now we have the orange, the maroon, the black and the gold, and I get to use my handy dandy sewing kit, and I love this thing. I think out of every kit I've ever created, this sewing kit's the one that I use the most. So let me pull out what I need from there, and then we will continue. Alright, so now what I've done is I've separated each one of those pieces of cordage, or this tassel making stuff, into two sections for each color. Now they don't have to be exact, but if you feel the urge to count them, feel free. I am going to pull two pieces out of each stack. It's entirely up to you what color you want to use. Right now I just grabbed two of the maroon, and I've grabbed two of the black. One of them I've already got onto my needle, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the others here in a minute. But now all we're going to do is we're going to take one stack of the black, even that up a little bit there. There we go. One stack of the black and one stack of the gold, and I'm going to put them together like so. Now if you want to mix them up and do everything you can, that's entirely up to you. If you want, it's fine if you want to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one that's off of the needle right now, of the black, and I'm just going to tie that together with a very simple knot. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. All you're going to do is just secure them together. Three knots is good. There we go. Now we're going to just trim that up just a tad bit. Just take that and trim that off just like that. Now I still have a small piece of black, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew up, or I'm sorry, I'm going to knot up the second section in the same manner. Try to keep them even. There we go. And just to kind of keep it trim that up just a bit. There we go. So now we have two that are tied together like so. Now let's do the same thing with the orange and the maroon. I'm going to take a piece of the maroon cordage that I set aside. I already just cut that in half, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's put a orange maroon together. Put this orange maroon together, and we're just going to tie them in a nice little knot in about the center. Try to get as close to the center as possible. So now what I'm going to do is I have the other black piece of cordage or yarn on my needle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two pieces of the black and gold, and I'm going to bring my cord. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set one of the stacks on top of the cordage, and I'm going to set one on the bottom so that the cordage is in between the two pieces of bound yarn here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the needle and I'm going to insert it in all of that. There we go. Go through there like so. And I'm going to tie them together like that. I'm going to put a couple more stitches in there, and then I'm going to tie it all together, and I'll get right back with you. So I've secured it to the cordage. Now I'm just going to run a couple more times in there so that I feel more secure about it. Takes a little bit to get through the other side as well. There we go. There it is. And once I do that, I'm just going to wrap it, and I'm just going to tie it on there so that it's secure. Alright, there we go. So that is on there, and it is very secure. So now all we have to do is just fold them down like so, and what we'll do is in a minute we'll put a knot right here with some more cordage, but before we do that, let's go to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing with the orange and maroon. Again, down towards the end I'll put one on top, one on bottom. We'll make a little sandwich, and we'll just attach those. This time I'm going to use the maroon cord. So now, real quick, I grabbed some white. I have some white cordage as well. I decided I'm going to tie the tassels with white. Michelle had it. It was in my stuff, but I packed it all away and she grabbed it. So anyway, now we have the tassel on this end and the tassel on this end. So what we're going to do is, first of all, I'm going to make my favorite slip knot. So all I'm going to do is make a loop, secure that loop just by holding it so that it's in between my last two fingers. I'm going to take my tag in and roll it around my other two fingers and create another loop. And all I'm going to do is twist that tag in about 3 times through that loop. And then I'm just going to tighten that loop up. Boom, there. Now I have a nice little slip knot. It's my favorite fishing knot. It's any kind of slip knot for anything I need a slip knot for. That's my slip knot. So anyway, I'm going to take this noose. I'm going to wrap it around all of this cordage. Let me stick that cordage in my noose here. There we go. And I'm going to set it where I want my knot to be, and I'm just going to tighten it up. Make sure that's where I want it. That looks good to me. And then there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm going to make a nice little clean roll here. And this is just as many times as you want. It doesn't have to be any particular thing. If you want to make a special number or whatever, until you get that. Alright, and then you just tie it off. Let's see here, we're gonna and there we go. Got a nice little tassel right here, and we do the same thing with this other side. So now we have finished our handfasting cord, so I would like to show that to you. Here it is right there. So like I said before, it's 6 feet 3.5 inches long. It is made up of 4 colors, for each element. You have green, yellow, blue, and red. There you go. And at one end, this is the man's family colors, and this is the woman's favorite colors. I don't know what their family crest is, so I wasn't able to make their personal or their family colors, but I did make it her personal favorite colors. So there we go. My handfasting cord. So one more thing with the handfasting cord. I have it weaved. I've attached the tassels. Now what I'm going to do on each end, on the woman's side, I'm going to attach this charm right here. It's a little gold heart. Let's see if I can work it. There we go. And this gold heart opens up, and we're going to put some herbs and some other stuff into it, and that is going to go onto the woman's side. And on the man's side, I have this book that has a heart on it, and it also opens up. There we go. It opens up, and it has a little magnet clasp on it. Thank you. And it also has a space you can either put a picture or you can put something in there. And there we go. There's the book heart charm and the heart charm. So I'm going to sew those onto the ends of each of these. So that's finally complete. So I've weaved the cordage. I've got it together. I have the tassels, and now each of the tassels has its little charm. There we go. So now all we're going to do is wait until Saturday when we're going to hold the ceremony. And I am going to marry two people who don't want to be mentioned right now. So, so there we go. Thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.